Yo, what's up? It's DNA for sure. And me and my homegirl were talking the other day about why people basically attack people who don't fit their their own script. What they've been taught was normal and regular. Um, First, she was talking about why people attack transsexuals. I'm facing the sun, so that's why I got the shades on. I usually don't wear the shades, but then we started talking about one of my cousins, and I said how he lived in Inglewood, Roseland, areas like that, basically his whole life, with the exception of the past 5 years or something like that. But he didn't inherit his ways from living in Hammond, Indiana for fucking 5 years. This dude's always been like trying to play hockey and baseball and learning how to play the guitar, and always been into rock and just alternative lifestyles for my people, for black people. A lot of people say that he's the whitest black dude you'll ever meet. Like, he wears the camouflage hats with the bent bills, with the fucking oak leaves on the hat. He does chew, and he wears plaid shirts with some kind of graphic tee under it, some kind of rock graphic tee, the whole nine. Just really not trying to conform to the culture that we chose and that we were given. And I've seen him get attacked personally for that, and me have gone through that. I've gone through that, moving from white ass area in Illinois to where there were more black people in Atlanta, and me just having or making myself choosing to conform to certain ways just so the attacks would stop. For a minute it was cool and made me a better person, a stronger person, but I wanted to hang out with a certain kind of people and they just weren't gonna have it. So whatever. For me, from the outside looking in, and vice versa, I feel like I've done this to other people. It feels like, we'll say, the most extreme, transsexuals. Now, the fact that I love being a dude so much, and I wake up and I make sure my balls and dick are still there every day, and not every day, that was just a joke, but just me enjoying my life as a dude so much, and to hear that people make the choice to get their penis and balls removed, it makes me feel really, I feel insulted. I feel insulted that you're rejecting something that I consider such a gift and such a joy to be a part of. To be a part of masculinity and manhood, boyhood as a child, having to experience things and having the opportunity and the privilege to be a man in a man's world. And just knowing that you're saying that, it's basically, I mean, I don't take it as a personal attack, but I could feel like people picking on me because I talked white, or I rejected their lifestyle and their way of life, like my cousin does. When you do that, it's kind of like saying that person is not good enough when it's not that at all. So that's one reason. These kids that just indulge in certain lifestyles and are a part of the whole hip-hop scene and love being black and enjoy their culture so much, and laugh at white people and laugh at Mexicans because of whatever, they don't get to experience the joy of being black. And then you see a black kid that just rejects everything that you love and you stand for. It's kind of like a personal attack when it's really not. But in certain ways, when I look at transsexuals getting their penis cut off or going through that process, the transitioning process, it kind of makes me feel like, damn, it must not be I know how great it is to be a dude and to have a penis and to be able to put my stuff and stuff. So many females that like girls wish they had a penis, and it just doesn't work like that in every case. But there's that. The second one that I could see is, I tried to explain this to her a little bit, and it goes into the insecurity thing, but it's like I've heard my cousin say things and maybe say things vaguely or not complete his thought, and some aspects of being black and certain things about myself that I just can't really get rid of. I hate that shit, and it makes me feel a certain level of self-loathing in some kind of way. And I know there's a lot of things that my cousin just doesn't like about being black that's inherent, that there's things that he just can't change. And when people see that, you know, they feel bad for you. Maybe he just doesn't realize how good it is to be black, or maybe this or that, but they can sense that maybe they feel like you're unhappy so much that they want to not help you, but in one way or another, that is their way of showing you love, or showing you that you don't have to fucking hate yourself and this is how it is. And they're just trying to basically show you some tough love, or bullying you into fucking loving yourself, or fucking making fun of you into loving yourself. Just because I listen to rock or dress a certain way, I'm wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt right now. Just because my cousin does certain things doesn't mean that he hates being black, or that he hates this part of himself. He hates, you know, having brown skin and everything that comes with that. And again, that can make people feel very insecure. The third reason is just ignorance. People liking routine. People being, human beings being a creature of habit. When you grow up seeing certain things in a certain way every day, and you live in a certain culture, in a certain environment, and you see this guy, you see a tranny, you see my cousin, you feel like attacking it. That's not a part of your habit. To wake up, okay, see this dude, he's just like me. See this dude, he's just like me. See this chick, she's just like me. And you know, there's a theory that in Africa, when people were starting when they were starting to develop the albino gene and they didn't look like them, they exiled them. And that's where white people come from, because they exiled all the albinos, and they went to one place in the mountains. And when they came down a couple thousand years later, that's what the white race was. And I don't know how true that is. It makes a lot of sense, but that's just human nature. In some parts of the country, if you've ever seen 300, if there's anything wrong with the baby that they don't view as a gift, that's an actual defect that could be used to help people in other ways, as far as a level of understanding or for study purposes, whatever. People just reject what's not a part of their habits and their culture. And that takes some muscle to be able to do things that you're uncomfortable with. So to be around people that don't fit in your script, that's just not a part of people's culture. In some parts of the world, there are no gay people. Some parts of the world, they brand you, they kick you the fuck out. They shame your whole family, they shun you. They even try to kill you and mutilate you, put you in concentration camps for gay people or whatever. I don't know, I haven't done too much research on it. But I know if that's what we do in some parts of America and our culture, they have to be a lot more extreme in certain cultures and parts of the world. So, I mean, I haven't really done too much research. I thought about it, put all my thoughts together, and that's what I think. I'm sure there's more. There's at least 5 more. But all those things come from fear, love, and insecurity. Self-love, pride, love for the other person, misunderstanding, fear, and love. Just do you, be you. I mean, this journey is just coming to an end as far as me feeling comfortable with everything that I'm doing as far as with this whole cultural thing. I tried so hard not to talk how I talked and how I talk now and not use certain words. I tried so hard to not buy certain clothes because certain people just told me that I wasn't good enough and that they hated themselves so much, or that I really, in all reality, hated myself, and that's why I was dressing like this, so I didn't understand my culture. When honestly, a lot of these people, they don't have what I had. They don't have the experience that I experienced, and their families aren't what my family is, both sides of my family. That could be it too, another one. A lot of these fucking kids I went to school with, they never lived in the hood. They never fucking been to the hood for more than a couple hours. And they tried to put this in my face and other people's faces so much, and white people's faces and Mexican people's faces, and express this culture so much. And they see that I had certain opportunities to do both, and I just rejected it. And it's just like when you see a gay person that has a really good personality and that you see around a lot of the opposite sex, and they still reject the possibility of having sex with the opposite sex. Somebody I know, somebody that I love, is bisexual, and he hasn't had sex with a woman for like almost half my life. And I see his charisma and his personality, and he could get all the females in the whole fucking world, but he chooses to have sex with men, and that fucking confuses me. It makes me a little bit angry and resentful, because he has opportunities that I don't have and didn't have, but he still chooses to do something that in my world is not totally taboo, because I'm not from fucking, I wasn't raised under a rock. But it's really strange that you're rejecting something so much and so strongly that I spent a lot of my childhood trying to figure out how to get and chase right now. But that's it. It's DNA for sure. Love yourself, be yourself. Peace.